G'day, boys and girls. You remember that's hello in Australia. I have a special book today, and it is a book called Koala Lou, and it is by Mem Fox. And if you remember the story I read the other day, Possum Magic, it is by the same author, Mem Fox. And I have some special friends that are going to help me with the story today. So here we go. Koala Lou. There was once a baby koala, so soft and round that all who saw her loved her. Her name was Koala Lou. Here she is, boys and girls. Koala Lou. The emu loved her, the platypus loved her, and even tough little koala claws next door loved her. She was very lovable. And here we have some animals. This is an emu right here. But it was her mother who loved her most of all. 100 times a day she would laugh and shake her head and say, "Koala Lou, I do love you." Don't you love it, boys and girls, when your mums and dads tell you that they love you? Whenever she stretched in the early morning sun or climbed a gum tree or bravely went down the track all by herself, her mother would smile and say, "Koala Lou, I do love you." The years passed and other koalas were born, brothers and sisters for Koala Lou. Soon her mother was so busy she didn't have time to tell Koala Lou that she loved her, although of course she did. And sometimes we get so busy we forget to say that, boys and girls. Every night as she curled up under the stars, Koala Lou thought about the times when her mother had looked at her and said, "Koala Lou, I do love you." And she longed for her to say it again. One night, Koala Lou had a splendid idea. Preparations had begun for the Bush Olympics. She would enter the Olympics. She would compete in the gum tree climbing event, and she would win, and her mother would fling her arms around her neck and say again, what would she say, boys and girls? "Koala Lou, I do love you." Koala Lou began her training right away. She jogged and puffed and lifted weights and panted. She hung from a branch with one claw at a time till she ached. She did push-ups till her stomach hurt, and last of all she climbed the tallest tree that she could find over and over and over again. And that's how we get better at things, boys and girls, when we practice and practice and practice. Not just once, but lots of times. How do you think she's going to do at the Bush Olympics? Sometimes her mother would watch her and ask, "How you doing, Blossom?" "Fine, just fine," Koala Lou would reply. Bet she's out of breath. Do you think she's panting, boys and girls, climbing that tallest tree? Think you could climb a tree like that? At last the day of the Bush Olympics arrived. Look at all the animals that are there at the Olympics. Look at them. Can you see kangaroos? All sorts of animals. Quokkas with the spots. Emus. Koala Claus had also entered the gum tree climbing, and everyone knew how fast she was. But Koala Lou wasn't scared. She saw her mother in the crowd and imagined her saying again, what would she say, boys and girls? "Koala Lou, I do love you." Her heart filled with hope. That's what she wants to hear her mom say, doesn't she, boys and girls? Here she is. It was Koala Claus who went first. Her climb was a record-breaking 22 meters in 70 seconds flat. The spectators whistled and cheered and wildly waved their holiday hats. You see them right here waving their hats, boys and girls, tossing them in the air. Looks like a celebration, doesn't it? Can I do better than that? Thought Koala Lou. I must. As she stepped towards the tree, a hush fell over the crowd. That means everybody was really quiet. On your mark, said the kookaburra. Get set. Go. All right, she's going to start climbing as quick as she can, boys and girls. Look at that. Do you think she feels a little bit nervous or excited? Koala Lou leapt onto the tree. Up and up and up she climbed, higher and higher and higher, faster and faster and faster until there she was, right at the very top. The spectators roared and clapped and stamped their feet. Oh, they're very excited, boys and girls. I wonder how she did. Guess we'll find out pretty soon. But she wasn't fast enough. In spite of all her training and all her hoping, it was Koala Claus who won the gum tree climbing. Koala Lou came in second. Koala Lou went off and hid. She heard the shouts of the Bush Olympics and cried her heart out. Oh, she's really sad, boys and girls. Have you ever done that, where you've tried really hard to do something and it didn't go as you planned? Let's see. Nope, I'm in trouble with these pages. Here we go. When the first stars of evening appeared in the sky, Koala Lou crept home through the dark and up into the gum tree. Her mother was waiting for her. Before she could say a word, her mother had flung her arms around her neck and said, what do you think she said, boys and girls? Koala Lou, I do love you. I always have and I always will. And she hugged her for a very long time. Oh, isn't that just what Koala Lou was wanting, boys and girls? And it happened, didn't it? There she is. And there we go. There's the kookaburra. All right, boys and girls. Well, I hope you enjoyed this story. And here are my helpers, Koala Lou and her mom. And this would be a good time to give your parents a hug and tell them that you love them too. And I am missing you very much, boys and girls. I'm sending lots of hugs because that's something we haven't been able to do lately. And just know that I'm sending a huge, big hug. So consider yourself hugged from Mrs. Christensen. All right. Till next time. Bye, boys and girls.